Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear sister. The message reads like this: Hello, Brother Nash, how are you? Can you please post my own story as hidden identity? I am a 27-year-old woman who is from Zim. So growing up, I always dreamed of having a very good life, and I always wanted a man who had a lot of money. I wanted to look very beautiful, and I knew that for me to look that beautiful, I needed to have a man that had money, otherwise my beauty was going to waste. A man that was going to buy me clothes that were expensive, to make all of my friends to become jealous, and everyone was supposed to be jealous of me. But coming from a very humble background, I knew that it was never going to be easy. It was in the year 2021, after I had this other story of this other woman whom I had met in a restaurant. She came to me and she said, "You are such a beautiful young woman." Then she asked for my phone numbers. Then we became friends. So she then told me that she does these powerful rituals. So these rituals make men who are wealthy be attracted to her. So this woman, she had always wanted to be my friend, because this woman, what she was doing was that she was not like a prostitute who would go out into the open and prostituting herself, but she will be doing it in the background. She dates pastors, famous footballers, and famous musicians. So whenever she would go on a vacation, she will come back and she will say, "Look at me, I was with this South African guy who is a famous footballer, and we went on a vacation and he paid for me such and such an amount." So she used to keep those pictures, but then she had to delete them, because what she'll be saying is that most of these guys that are rich and famous, they would make her to sign a contract, like a contract that will be saying, "Okay, I am going to be sleeping with you, but you are not supposed to tell anyone." So she would only show me, and she will say that, "You know that you are even beautiful than I am. Just imagine if I was on a vacation with this famous South African footballer. How about you? With the way that you are beautiful, how much do you think that you can be making?" So this woman, the more that I spoke with her, then I became so convinced that I was supposed to do this. Then I had a misunderstanding with my mom. What happened is that I had picked up this other blesser. So I then came with that blesser back home. My parents were not at home, and I slept with that blesser. So my parents then quickly returned back home, and then my mom found out that I had a man in her house. We had a big argument, and then I was kicked out. And when I was kicked out, I then started staying with this woman. So this woman, she told me that she will be traveling to Mozambique, because in Mozambique, that is where she got her charms. So she needed to go and to renew her charms. So we went to Mozambique, me and her. We went to this other traditional healer who assisted her to attract rich men. The healer then also promised me that after performing what they called a special ritual, I was going to have a man falling at my feet. These men, he said, they will be showering me with money and gifts. I was really desperate to escape the poverty, and I wanted to live a life that I wanted. Since I had been staying with this woman, I felt like I needed to move out to have my own place of my own. So this ritual, it was quite intense. First of all, I had to be sleeping with this traditional healer, and this was not just sleeping with a traditional healer. This man, he first drank some herbs. Throughout the day, he mixed some herbs and placed them in an empty 2-liter bottle of Coke, and he started drinking. And he said that he wanted to strengthen himself sexually. Later in the evening, I was taken to his bedroom. This man, he slept with me until I felt like my private parts, they were dry and swollen. He did not give me rest. I was desperate to escape poverty, to live a life that I wanted, so I had to do this. And this man, when he was sleeping with me, he said that this was going to make me to be attractive when rich men are looking at me. He drew some strange markings around my waist area, so that when a man is sleeping with me, the moment that I just move my waist during sexual intercourse, the man will just ejaculate. No matter what, the man will just ejaculate within 1 minute. The man will be done. So this will make a man to keep on thinking about me, saying that I have never had a woman like you. But what the man would not know is that it is all because of the markings that I have around my waist area. The healer then gave me a herbal concoction to drink and instructed me to sleep with a rich man within 7 days for the magic to take effect. We left Mozambique and we both returned back to Zim. When we returned back to Zim, that was when my friend was invited to this other party. We then went to that party and I ended up sleeping with a man, a very famous pastor that I then slept with. He was my first victim, the first blesser that I ever slept with. He gave me so much money. He kept on asking me, he was like, young woman, what is wrong with you? Why is it when I penetrated you, then you really tasted nice, so much that I can't even help myself? Then he told me that he was going to plan another match when we were supposed to sleep with each other, because he said that he wanted to show me that he was going to destroy me. So on this other night, we went to this beautiful hotel. He brought some energy drinks and some medicine to make him powerful in bed. But when he went inside of me, he just ejaculated within a minute, almost half a minute. He was done. Throughout the night, he kept on looking at me, and it was like, I have slept with different women, but I have never slept with a woman who is as nice as you are. In bed, he showered me with money, and he told me that he would be taking care of me. Even right now, he is the one who still pays for my bills. I don't mind sleeping with him, but I don't sleep with him like each and every time. Maybe per year we can only sleep with each other 5 times, since he is a very businessman. So I then found another man. So I had been told that before I sleep with a man, I have to call that traditional healer so that he can know if this man that I'll be sleeping with, if the man is clean or if he is just an occultist. So what happened is that I then met this other man at a very VIP club, and this man, he told me that he was in love with me. So I was supposed to inform this Mozambican traditional healer first, but when we went outside, I then saw his car. Instead of me thinking clearly about the rules of the covenant, I then kept on thinking about how much money he was going to give me. So this healer, whenever I am with a new blesser, I call him using a WhatsApp video call. Then he can look at me to see if the man that I'll be wanting to sleep with, if the man is a ritualist. I have to sleep with men that only have clean money. We slept together with that man without informing the traditional healer. It was not long before things took a very dark turn. About a month after I had started seeing this man, I began to notice a foul smell that was coming out of my private parts. At first, I thought it was just an infection, but no matter what I tried, it only got worse. Soon as I started noticing some maggots were coming out of me, the pain was just too much. I was horrified and I did nothing, and I did not know what to do. I went to several doctors, but none of them could explain what was happening to me. Some even suggested that I have contracted a rare disease, and I returned back to that healer in Mozambique, and then I was told that the man that I had been sleeping with is also involved in occultic practices. That is what gives him all of that money. The healer told me that by sleeping with him, the ritual had backfired and it was going to bring me this curse. My life right now, it is a living nightmare. So there are maggots that come out of my private part, and this blesser has since told me that he knows what I was trying to do with him. Sometimes I can't sleep at night, and when I try to sleep, these maggots, they come out so much that I am scared to tell the blessers that I'll be with. This is what is happening to me. The healer has promised me that he's going to find a solution, but I am still waiting on his promises. I can't stay like this. For me to survive, I have to keep on sleeping with these rich blessers, and now I am trying to seek for spiritual help. If there is anyone who can guide me to reverse this curse, I am willing to do whatever. To anyone who wants to help me, they can get in touch with Brother Nashi. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by our dear sister right there. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Please let us talk about this issue in the comment section.